Today we talk about the most important app that I use in my classroom. I literally use it all day long. It's called Class Dojo. It's awesome, and I want to tell you why I like it. For those of you who are like, what is Class Dojo? I've never heard of that before. It is a classroom management app and it is wonderful. Now, a little background on me. I started my teaching career using a clip chart. In fact, I have a video from 2 years ago on this channel talking about the clip chart and how I used it. And while I feel that the clip chart had some value and a good time and place, I've evolved and changed my mindset, and I now am a huge fan of Class Dojo. So before we go even further, if you're interested in this, just download the app, it's free, and check it out. That way you kind of have a sense of what I'm talking about. So it has a little avatar person for each student in your classroom, and you can give them positive points for good behavior and negative points for bad behavior. What ultimately made me switch from a clip chart to Classroom Dojo is it's the same basic principle, but the difference is that within the app, it keeps track of all the points digitally for you, and you can also, when you take away a point or add it, you can say what it was for. And so it helps me if a parent calls and is like, 2 days ago, what happened? And honestly, sometimes I don't remember if it was something small. So it helps me go back in and see at what time of day the point was given or taken and what the reason was. So it helps me keep better data on my students. And honestly, when I was doing the clip chart, I had to like remember 20 something like rewards and consequences for the whole day. It was just a lot to keep track of. So it's like a digitalized clip chart, and I like it. Another huge pro for Class Dojo is you can link it to their parent's phone if you show them how to do it. And so let's say you have a student who's being a little bit, not making some great choices, and they decide to steal something from another student. Not a good decision. It was a bad decision. And so you're like, well, I'm going to take a point away from you for that. As soon as you do that, it sends a message to the parent's phone if they have push notifications on, and they know what's up. So I've been like in the middle of a class and gotten a message from a parent that's like, you tell them to get it together. They're gonna be in trouble when I get home. It's wonderful. It's pretty obvious that most parents these days are on their phone. I guess a shortcoming would be if you have a parent who doesn't have a smartphone, this feature wouldn't really work for them. But I'd say like 95% of my parents are into it. They download the app and they can check it from home. It's wonderful. And then it also allows you to like talk to them about it, and it increases parent communication. It's wonderful. Part of that communication is within the app, there is a parent messaging component. So what I used to have to do is I either had to email them, call, and I still do email and call, obviously, but for little tiny things, I would have to like give my personal phone number to text them. I didn't really like that. So within this app, there's a messaging feature. So if I have like a question and it's a small thing and I don't have time to call, I can send it really quick. Disclaimer, if you have a big thing that you need to talk to them about, you should still call your parents. But I'm just saying, for trivial here or there things, the messaging app is way easier to the messaging component of this app is way easier. And if I have big messages that I want to send out, like reminders, I can click it and send it to all parents. So easy. I think I've said it's wonderful like 3 times in this video, so I'll say it's terrific. I think really the only negative thing about Class Dojo is, I guess if the parent doesn't have a smartphone or doesn't want to have that on their phone, then you lose the messaging feature, but you can still like give and take points in your class, so that's fine. What kept me clinging to the clip chart for as long as I did was I liked the fact that the student could go over there and like clip themselves up or clip themselves down. That way they had a little bit more ownership over the consequence or reward that was going on. With this, I just do it myself. And so I guess that could be a pro or a con depending on your opinion on how things go. So those are basically my thoughts on Classdojo. Obviously, I did not create Classdojo. It's an existing app, I'm just reviewing it. So this is a 2-part video. So this is the part where I talk about all the reasons why I like it, and the next video, which is gonna go live in a few days, is about how I use it, because there are different thought processes. So be looking out for that video. In the meantime, if you want a list of all the apps that I use in my room, click below and there will be a link for free resources for all the apps that I like in my classroom. This is one of them, obviously. So check that out if that would be helpful for you. I will see you in a couple days with how I use Classdojo in my room.